sure that no one had it on the bingo card, that both teams would be outside looking in of the postseason, but it's trending in that direction. Evan Cohen, hide your ears, because Jake Browning is awful at football, and that is confirmed yesterday. 2 turnovers backed up in Cincinnati territory in the second quarter that led to a double-digit lead for the Lions at halftime. Jamar Chase had more pass breakups than catches and was tied for the team lead in tackles in the third quarter. That is not hyperbole, ladies and gentlemen. That is a fact. As for the Baltimore Ravens, it's another week of being non-competitive. The Ravens can't run the ball, can't stop the run, lose the turnover battle, and get dominated in situational downs. With both starting quarterbacks out, everyone understands some struggle, but it can't be incompetence. The poor play from both teams is a direct reflection of coaching, and undoubtedly both Zach Taylor and John Harbaugh deserve to be criticized. The identity of the team can't disappear because one guy is injured. If that's how your team is built, where you have no identity because of one injury, that team is not a championship contender in the first place. Case in point, 2015 Denver Broncos, 2017 Philadelphia Eagles, 2022 San Francisco 49ers, all teams that had backup quarterbacks start for over a month and still contended at a championship level. Based on the current state of both organizations, it's fair to question if either one of these coaches can lead their teams back to the Super Bowl with their quarterbacks in their prime.
The Ravens are 4-10 without Lamar. 4-10.
Not great.
We know how important he is. I guess with the Bengals, we've seen a modicum of success with Jake Browning. I mean, Ev was really high on him. We've seen Jake Browning step in when Joe Burrow has been injured and be productive. I expected more from them, whereas I did not expect more from the Ravens without Lamar.
Cincinnati Bengals were built differently. They were a much better defense. That version of the Cincinnati Bengals that got to the Super Bowl, much better team than the one that's currently constituted. And so we say the Cincinnati Bengals have had success, not these Cincinnati Bengals. The Cincinnati Bengals from 3 or 4 years ago had success. But that defense, that running game was much better than this one. Got to keep in mind, when they went on that Super Bowl run, Cincinnati Bengals defense generated 9 takeaways in the playoffs. 9 takeaways in 4 games.
Incredible.
That defense was much better than this one.
I was dead wrong about Jake Browning. He was good then, not good now, as you just mentioned. So egg on my face. I look terrible on that one. The question I have on follow-up on that, which team acts first? What I mean by that is which team realizes we're going nowhere fast. Let's take advantage of the down year instead of just letting the down year linger. What does taking advantage of? Maybe looking at some guys in the final year of their contract that you may not re-sign, veteran guys that you may not want to give the money that they want to get, and restock with draft picks. Which team between Cincinnati and Baltimore acts first?
Oh, I absolutely think it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals. Trey Hendrickson, they've been at this contract impasse for 2 years now. He's still good at football, had a couple of sacks in yesterday's game. So why not unload him and try to get a premium draft pick? Maybe you're not going to get a first because somebody's got to give a contract up to a pass rusher on the wrong side of 30, but maybe you can eke out a second-round pick, and that could help the Cincinnati Bengals because what they need now more than ever is premium talent at controllable cost. The only way you find that is in the NFL draft. And so being able to have a second-round pick is like gold for them. I would unload Trey Hendrickson as soon as I possibly could because this team, with Jake Browning as their quarterback, is going nowhere. Next.
Number 2.
Is the U back? Is it back, Evan? Is the U back?
Let's go.
Is the U back? Miami has 3 straight wins against AP-ranked opponents within a season for the first time since 2004. On Saturday, they beat in-state rival Florida State in a game that wasn't nearly as close as the final score. Quarterback Carson Beck threw for 4 touchdowns, no picks. The defense forced 3 takeaways and held a high-powered Seminole offense in check most of the night, stopping them on 7 straight drives. Miami has beaten South Florida, Florida State, and Florida in consecutive seasons, earning the title of back-to-back state champs. They've started out 5-0 in consecutive seasons. The number 2 AP ranked Canes don't face a ranked opponent the rest of the way and have a clear path to the ACC championship game in Charlotte. Of the top 10 ranked teams, they have the fewest questions that need to be answered for the rest of the season. A talented trigger man at quarterback in Carson Beck, explosive weapons on the edges, Malachi Tony will be a household name by the end of this season. A dominant defensive front led by Reuben Bain Jr. and an opportunistic secondary. Stop me when you've heard that formula work for the U before. Remember, talented quarterback, explosive weapons on the edges, dominant defensive front, opportunistic secondary.
So let's. Sorry, go ahead.
Stop me when you've heard that before from Miami.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. Complacency and attrition are always factors, but barring anything unforeseen, Miami will be in the playoff and poised for a deep postseason run.
Miami should be undefeated, to your point, going into the playoff. And let me also go one step further. While we're admitting wrong, or I'm admitting wrong, I did not think Carson Beck was going to be this. I thought his last year at Georgia was very unimpressive every way you cut it, in terms of on-field, in terms of overall just vibe around him. And I don't want to judge someone based on, but it wasn't great. A lot of things were not great about him. He's been awesome this year. He has deserved the praise that he's getting. And I could ask the question, unless I'm forgetting someone, is he the only of the preseason hyped quarterbacks that has actually lived up to the expectation? Arch Manning is not. Drew Aller is not. Lenore Sellers has been banged up.
He's been hurt. But he's been good when he was out there.
Right, but he's been banged up, right? I thought DJ Lagway would have a good year for Florida.
He's been the best out of the bunch.
Is there someone I'm missing? Mateer was not preseason hyped.
Mendoza
was not preseason hyped. Dante Moore in Oregon was not preseason hyped.
Yeah,
Am I missing someone?
Nussmeier and LSU.
Nussmeier has been
They haven't been very good.
Carson Beck has actually been the number 1 live up to the hype guy at the quarterback position in college football. And you and I, CC, were so down on him, and I think it was warranted going into this year. But other people thought he was going to be great. I was wrong.
Do you think by the time we arrive at the playoffs, they're the number 1 team in the country? Because Ohio State still has 2 ranked opponents on their schedule.
Do you trust Ohio State, though?
Well, they have number 17 Illinois next, and then to close out the season, they have Michigan, which is number 15 right now. And it seems like Miami should cruise through the end of the season.
Yeah, I just don't trust Ohio State right now. Mm-hmm. And maybe I just need to see more from the quarterback, but I don't trust them right now. So yeah, like I said, I don't. Of the top 10 ranked teams, I think that Miami has the fewest amount of questions. Now it's about Mario Cristobal being able to finish the drill, making sure he keeps his guys focused the rest of the way. Because undoubtedly somebody is going to give Miami a game. They are going to be challenged. It's just a matter of, are they going to be up for it, and are they going to be able to make the requisite plays that it takes to be able to maintain an unblemished record. It's hard to do. It's hard to get to the mountaintop. It's even harder to stay there. Next.
Number 1.
Tennessee Titans, they ain't ass no more. Congrats to Cam Ward for getting on the board with a wild comeback win on the road in Arizona. Cam Ward was shaky most of the game, but did engineer his first game-winning drive, setting up a chip shot field goal as time expired. But the Titans aren't the story here. The story is the Arizona Cardinals. Does anyone know what the Cardinals are actually doing? Serious question. After starting 2-0, they've lost 3 straight. On deck is a trip to Indy, and they don't play a team below 500 again until Week 15 at Houston. I'm not sure how much runway head coach Jonathan Gannon has in Arizona, but they can't claim they're moving in the right direction if the 2025 results in a 3rd straight losing streak season. Let me say that again. I'm not sure how much runway head coach Jonathan Gannon has in Arizona, but they can't claim they're moving in the right direction if 2025 results in a 3rd straight losing season. While I don't believe in the concept of a good loss, I'll acknowledge that all losses are not created equal, and for Arizona, losing to the Tennessee Titans is as bad as it gets, especially when you have a 2-possession lead in the 4th quarter and a breakaway run poised to extend it to a 3-score game. The Cards are at an inflection point as a franchise, and this year should be viewed as a referendum on not only the head coach, but on the quarterback too. If they're not a postseason contender, hell, if they can't have a winning record, why should they continue to stay the course with Kyler Murray as their quarterback?
Good question.
They shouldn't. They absolutely shouldn't, and I don't personally believe in him as a big-time starting quarterback. Now, maybe he could be the next Sam Darnold or Baker Mayfield or Geno Smith prior to this year and have a resurgence elsewhere, but I have never been a huge believer in his. And, oh, by the way, I know one team that you're completely sold on, the Indianapolis Colts. That's their next opponent on the road in Indy. And then, oh, by the way, the opponent after that, so if you assume 2-4, don't worry. They got your Packers after that, so you could think 2-5. And, oh, by the way, then they go on the road at the Cowboys. And you know what? Cowboys aren't that bad. That could be 2-6.
Cowboys going to score some points now.
Yeah, they will.
Cowboys going to score points.
Oh, don't worry. Then you go on the road at Seattle. Then you have home against the 49ers. Then home against the Jaguars. Then at the Bucks. Then home against the Rams.